Hello, I'm Cheryl Jackson. Welcome to my backyard. I'd like to share with you two of my favorite things today, collecting junk and growing flowers. Do you love flowers as much as I do, but you think you don't have a whole lot of room? Well, don't worry about that. You can have a container garden. I love container gardens. They fit on patios, balconies, any small area, and you can still enjoy all the color of summer. My containers aren't your regular containers. I don't go for any just plain old flower pots. I like to recycle. This flower pot right here, it used to be a barbecue grill. I found it in the dumpster at the junkyard. Right over here, well, that's not a flower pot exactly. That used to be a light fixture in a former life, hanging off the side of the barn. There's my grandma's well bucket. This is just an old cast iron bean pot I found at the flea market. A blue speckled steer, as my mama used to call it. And right here, grandma's old watering can. Anything that'll hold dirt and that you can put holes in the bottom of will make a great flower pot. Well, why don't we just pot up a container garden right now? I'm going to start off with my container. Now, any container you can find that's rusted out on the bottom or has holes in it, ready for the trash heap, perfect for planting flowers because it's going to get good drainage. I'm going to fill my flower pot up about halfway with some good, rich dirt. It's got to have good drainage in the container, so be sure you're finding some good loose dirt. If you have a compost pile, that's perfect, but if not, you can just get you some potting soil at the landscaping store. Now, the kind of flowers that you choose for your pot is important because, like on my patio, it gets full sun. So I've chosen flowers that have tolerance to full sun. This one is called echinacea. It's a cornflower, and it's great for full sun potting. Now, the way you want to get your flower out of the pot is just kind of loosen it up like this. Put your hand over it so none of the dirt escapes, and just take your pot off, just like that. Place it in the pot. Don't worry, we're going to pack some dirt around it later. I like to always have something tall in the pot and then a medium-sized flower. This one's it's just a zinnia. You can start these from seeds, but you can also get them already started at the landscaping store. Right here, I have a begonia. Now, begonias are great because they'll grow in full sun or full shade, either one. So they're great for container gardens. Now, as you notice, I'm not wearing gloves. My mama always said if you're going to grow things, you have to not be afraid to get your hands dirty. And I like to play in the dirt. This is just a flowering moss. They grow really easily, and they're great for container gardens because they have the tendency to make a trail over the edge of the pot, which makes for very nice texture. Once you get your flowers displayed like you want them, and just fix them like makes you happy. It doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong way to do it. As you see, I like a lot of pink and put a lot of bright yellows in there. Now we're ready to put our dirt around the plant. You could use a shovel if you want to, but I like to use my hands. Just grab the dirt and pack it around the flowers. Pretty firmly, but not too firm. The water still has to get good drainage around the plant. It's always fun to watch these grow too, just to see how big they're going to get. They'll get really big before it's over with. You probably want to be able to see the container. Now, it's time to water it. I always add some good liquid fertilizer to my watering can. And just be sure you get the flour and the dirt just soaked good with water. Any good liquid fertilizer will do. There you go. You have a container garden. Why don't we put it over here with the rest? Now isn't that nice? Be sure and water your containers pretty often. Containers do need a little bit more watering than flowers that are in the ground because they dry out a little sooner. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today in my backyard. And I want you to go home and start your own container garden. And remember, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty.